Take two. Flyers game day.
Flyers Lightning here tonight, and the Flyers have played the Lightning already this year. The third game of the season, first road game of the season. They went there, they got that 3-2 win, Brian.
Yeah.
And that was the game where Noah Cates had that great individual effort for an unassisted game GWG, the game-winning goal, if I recall.
It was, yes, that's exactly what it was. And it was again one of those games where the Flyers were overachieving at that point. Everybody thought, they thought that this team was going to come out of the gate and kind of stumble, but they went to a 7-3-2 start, and that was perhaps one of the biggest eye openers for people of that whole time was this game in Tampa. I mean, they beat Andre Vasilevsky, they did it on home ice. There were a lot of other stuff going on. I believe it was their home opener. So it was a bit of a tough situation overall. We are feeding that to the screen to that Fanatic.
Oh yeah,
just for now. Just for now.
As we get to like 51, put that up. We're feeding everything. We're having a hell of it. By the way, not for nothing, but I got a feeling there's going to be a real crowd tonight. Like this area that we're in the East Food Hall is very crowded tonight.
Yes, it is.
The corridor over there is very crowded. We have a nice crowd and buzzing here at the building tonight. You had a 10-game winning skid, and everybody's coming out.
It's this is the time of year too when things start to pick up just a little bit because of the change in the seasons and all that, and even after the New Year, it's even a little bit better. But I do believe that this team, despite 10 games in a row without a win and all that stuff, it's still an entertaining team to watch. I mean, that run there had only a couple of stinkers in it. Do they need to score some more goals? Yeah. But this is going to be a team I think that is going to work hard every single night. There's very little issue there, and so it's just a matter, I think, of folks just kind of coming out and realizing that this is probably going to be a work in progress. And there was a lot spoken about this today by John Tortorella at the Flyers Training Center and his media availability.
Damn, did I enjoy his media.
Oh man, he is jumping all into the idea of this is a work in progress. Really building this team almost from the ground up. It is not exactly a scorched earth rebuild, but it is a situation where they've got a lot of work that they've got to do. They've got to be able to kind of reestablish what it means to play Flyers hockey, because that's been gone here for a little bit. And they're going to have to sit down and try to figure out a way to do that while also trying to be competitive. And then, to be honest, again, we look at the offense being a little bit down right now, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's just not a lot of NHL offensive players in the lineup. But they are going to start to come back tonight with Travis Konecny being back in the lineup, and hopefully they're going to start getting a little more healthy, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, and so the good news is this: well, not that Kiefer Bellows was great, but that's partly good news because it means it makes way for a roster spot for a forward. And like you just alluded to, Travis Konecny is going to return tonight. Now, with his injury, it was kind of an innocuous, nothing burger kind of play, but he got hurt, had the hand injury, I guess we'll call it, upper body, lower body, depending on where his hand is.
Yeah. Are his hands above his head or below his head?
But to get him back this early is great, and he's been skating, which I thought was really good. Skating, working out, and pushing his body, so he's not going to lose everything from a physical, fitness standpoint. Because you lose that part actually pretty quick.
Yes.
And he came in such good shape, and the way he's played this year has been, I think, a part of the way he's played this year is endless energy because he's in such phenomenal condition. So the fact that he was skating even while he was out, I think is a great thing. And it's going to be great to see him back out there because they need him. And if you want to generate offense, to me, he's your most gifted offensive player. I know Hayes leads the team in points and is off to a great statistical start. But, getting Konecny back, and he's going to be in full Monty tonight, too. He got to kill penalties. He was killing penalties before. He's going to kill penalties. He's going to be on the power play. He's not limited in any way. So that's great news.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a very kind of a weird play that led to the injury. He referred to it today as just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. He doesn't think it's something that could ever happen again, but it did happen, and unfortunately, it cost him 6 games. But it's a tough spot too, because it has everything to do with how you hold your stick. It has everything to do with how you shoot, how you pass. I mean, it's the worst possible spot for him on that lower hand. So again, we hope that it's cleared up. We certainly don't think he'll make it worse. That's why it was cleared, because he's at the point where he couldn't do any more damage to it. And we'll see what this offense looks like with him in there, because obviously he was one of the biggest sparks when the team was doing well.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's going to be playing on a line with Morgan Frost and Owen Tippett. Frost will be in the middle there. And that's interesting. That's an interesting line to me.
Yeah.
And Tipp's kind of come back down a little bit. Scorers like Tippett are going to be like that. They're going to be hot and cold, streaky.
Mm-hmm.
All scorers are. James Van Riemsdyk's always been like that through his career. When those guys get heated up, they can score in bunches, but sometimes, pucks just don't go in. Then you start squeezing the stick and looking first the chicken or the egg, all that stuff. Did I stop scoring because I was squeezing the stick, or did I squeeze the stick and stop scoring? You just don't know why it is sometimes, and that's just the randomness of the game. But it's great to see connected back. We'll see what happens with Kiefer Bellows. He was scratched a bunch of games. He played some of his best games right before getting waived by the Flyers today. Saw a significant increase in minutes and opportunity. I thought he played decently over the last couple of games. Didn't end up on the score sheet, and as an offensive player, you need, when your team's in search of offense, you need to end up on the score sheet. You don't get an extra goal for 4 good chances.
Right.
It's not like, that was a really good scoring chance. You get 0.25.
You kind of wish you did, right? Because if you did, the Flyers would never have had like a 10-game winless streak. Because again, we keep looking at this whole situation, and it's like they played better during that 10-game win streak than they did during the 7-3-2 start. They played better hockey. They played better fundamentally overall, with the exception of a couple of games that ended up being kind of just games that you write off, and everybody has that at one point or another. So the fact that they were able to go through a stretch like that, playing the way they did, and still not win any games over 10, it's just a kind of a crazy, almost fluky thing. You feel like. There was a lot that they did right that you don't want to get away from, because you look at it, that this is how you're supposed to play, but unfortunately you're not getting the results. And as it was said today, this is the results-oriented league. This is perhaps a spot where I feel like the results are as secondary as they've ever been right now for this team, because they've got to sit there and establish, again, a new way of playing and a foundation for what's going to be here moving forward.
Yeah, for the long term. Meg, you can put us back up now. Go to station so he can give us an indication.
Yeah, you're on.
No,
Yeah, no, I swear to God, dude, you're on. Yes.
We're on now. Okay.
I was screaming mics are hot.
Okay. You told me like I had more time than that.
Well, we'll
forge forward. Anthony's
Another
never broke on
crack at
time
this
in
one.
his life. You broke on time tonight?
We weren't listening. That's why this was the problem.
I figured that out when you kept waxing poetic.
Couple of issues.
Yes.
Well, we're going to continue to wax poetic. I think.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
Can we put Pat and Mike on the air? So
I wish we could have Pat co-host this. That would be great.
I'm waiting for any minute to go. Okay, so 2 minutes. But he's not going to do it.
He's not going to do
that. You just said swear you're on.
This is like the kid that cried wolf.
Yeah. In a lot of ways. Only the kid's not that short. Anyway, let's get to the Flyers lines tonight.
Yes.
As we were talking about with the return Travis connecting. He returns to the lineup tonight, and he's going to play with Frost and Tippett on, I don't know what's top line. I don't know what that
Your
means.
home for Philadelphia Flyers hockey, 97.5.
You sure? So we weren't.
No, we are, dude. We're on. That wasn't supposed to play.
What's going on back there?
No, it's another fun day.
Right. I hope the team will prepare for this broadcast with Pat and I. Frost, connect me and Tippett.
Yes.
You want to play another sounder after that, Pat? Then like we're not on the air? Sedlak is going to center Hayes and Farabee, which is the line the other night.
Yes.
Got so much done for him. No Kate's going to center Scott Lawton and Zach McHugh.
That was what Timmy said. That was the best first star selection in the history of the franchise, right?
He is correct.
I think it was something like that.
Yeah. See what happens when you get the radio guy to do those selections? You don't get some donkey selection.
That's right.
You get one that's really well thought out and deserved. Who's doing it tonight?
I don't know. I haven't looked yet. I think it might be Anthony Sanford.
Oh, God, that's going to be nice. Tanner Lazinski centering Max Wilman and Nick Delaria. I'll be sure to tell him.
Yeah.
And the D pairs. I think this is really interesting.
I like this too. Yes.
So the top pairs continue to be Ivan Provorov and Rasmus Ristolainen. I thought Ristolainen played his best game in that last game on the top pair against a very big Islander team. You know, Tampa tonight, it's a different animal than the Islanders. They don't play the same way.
Yeah.
But he was really good in that game. And I think this is also towards kind of maybe shielding Tony DeAngelo, who struggled a little bit of late, but has played too many minutes.
Right.
And he's banged up.
Yeah, he's a little bit nicked. And, yeah, he's been thrust into all situations, obviously. And he is, you know, again, he's a little bit probably overdoing it, for lack of a better term. He just and it's not from a spot of anything bad. He just wants to do so well, and he kind of feels like he's got to try to carry a team out of that winless skid that he was just again trying. So you know what, when you're playing golf, they tell you not to swing as hard as you can.
Yeah,
because the ball's going to go.
Trying to hit a 6-run home run.
Yeah, he's playing hockey, the equivalent of that. Mm-hmm. So they want to try and take him, a little bit of the pressure off from there. And again, Ristolainen, the other night thought earned the spot that he gets tonight to go back out on the top pair. He's played perhaps the best 2 games. Chuck Fletcher was saying today that the best 2 games defensively that he's played probably since the Flyers got him in the last 2 nights against the Islanders. So they just want to see him build on that, and it's a lot of things like positioning and just the way stick. Yes, the stick is a big thing, and their reads. The coaching staff wants these guys to be a little bit closer to each other, not to spread out so much. That's the kind of thing that led DeAngelo astray playing with Provorov last week. They spread out too much, leaves the middle of the ice wide open. He wants them to stay, stay close, force the play out wide, and then inside the dots, and let the forwards come in and take care of like a weak side or anything like that. Stay together and don't get too spread out. So he has again built on that. Obviously he was out with that injury, coming back. He's worked a lot with Brad Shaw and trying to work on some of those aspects of his game, and they just hope he keeps moving up from here.
Yeah, and that's one thing with Rizzo too. Just don't get caught outside the dots chasing the play. So it'll be he and Provorov. And the second pairing is Sanheim and DeAngelo. And as intrigued as I am about the top pairing, I'm equally as intrigued about these 2 playing together, because I never wrapped my mind around it that those 2 could play together, because we thought DeAngelo was going to play with Provorov, Sanheim's going to play with Ristolainen or Braun.
Right.
And I never wrapped my head around the possibility that Tony DeAngelo and Sanheim could be a pairing together. One's a right side guy, one's a left side guy. I should have had that at least enter my mind at some point. And I have no clue what it's going to be like, because both guys can get up in the play.
Right. It's not
different
the
ways.
same
Yeah, please. You're called a defenseman. Your first job is to right? Yep. But I'm intrigued by that. And Justin Braun comes out of the lineup, as we kind of predicted that DeAngelo would be back. Who's going to come out? It's Braun, the veteran, and Zamula is going to play along with Sealer. We're going to see a lot more of Igor.
Yes, I think we are. He's going to become an every night guy. They're probably going to start rotating maybe. I don't know if they'll rotate or just leave one guy out for a while. It depends on how it goes. But, I think I don't think you're going to see Igor Zamula rotated out of the lineup very much. I think they may want to give him a look, a chance to look at things from the press box and stuff like that, because you can get a different perspective that way. But he's going to be in this lineup regularly, I would think, here for the near future. So, again, that's the only thing that worries me about that pairing, is that we're doing against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And, I have these nightmares about seeing both of them down deep in the offensive corners and, everybody going the other way. But I'm sure they've had that conversation. They've probably predicted that. I don't know how often they've gotten to skate together, or if today was the only time. It was very limited optional skate today. I don't think they skated together yesterday. I could be wrong about that. But I don't know how much time they've had together on the ice. So, yeah, it's going to be something to look at. And again, this is the thing that the Flyers have to do right now is take a look at things like this and see how they work. Even if it does come at the expense of giving up a goal or something here or there. I mean, again, this is a long haul thing they're getting into. And, the ultimate goal is to win the Stanley Cup. And that is probably not going to happen this year. But that doesn't mean that this year is going to be a big part of that process to get the team back there. And this is the kind of thing that they're going to be using this year to look at.
Weird. I'm looking at Canada's Twitter and Vasilevsky doing these stretches, and you see the Flyers in the reverse retros with the long pants on again. I forgot. It's 80s night.
It is 80s night. Yeah.
Where's Tommy Conwell?
I don't know. I know that Dave Poulin is in the building. There's Mark House here somewhere. There's a lot of guys from that era that are here for this celebration tonight. Scoreboard, I think, is going to be thrown back a little bit.
Oh, really?
A lot of organ music tonight, too.
See, that's my heyday.
Yeah.
I'm born in the 70s, 72, I'm 50. Yeah, I know I'm old. I know, I don't look it. Right?
9-year-old me is flipping out over this whole thing.
That's when I fell in love. And Ellie Lindbergh and everything that followed.
If only we could broadcast the game on Prism through a scrambled signal, then I'd be all set.
Yeah, you'd be standing there holding the antenna.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to sit. You got the second period to hold the antenna. Well, Prism was actually cable. Right?
Yeah, it was cable. I just didn't have a subscription to it, but you could still see it.
Yeah,
through that waving color stuff. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yep. It was the road games that had gravity on Philly 57.
For PHL 17. Yeah. So it's 80s night here, first retros tonight. No Cooper Balls in the game, but it is the Flyers and the Lightning. The Flyers win 2 straight after a 10-game winless skid. Well, stay tuned and find out. Tim Saunders, Steve Coates, the countdown to face off and all the first period action coming up right after this. You've been listening to Flyers Game Day, brought to you by Betway on the Flyers Broadcast Network.
You are listening to 97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station.